When I hear low interest rate environment, I hear the Federal Reserve pumping money in.
With the White House admitting surging prices are, quote, worrisome and a big deal.
Inflation is causing stress. Bad news about prices in the grocery store.
Historically high inflation.
When the government started shutting down the economies, retail, merchants, businesses due to COVID started printing about $11 trillion of new money into the market.
Do you just print it?
We print it digitally.
Telling us inflation is only transitory.
Today, my colleagues on the FOMC and I kept interest rates near zero.
I just couldn't believe that.
This is the Federal Reserve printing staggering amounts of money. This is unprecedented, never in world history.
And any economist would have told you that that will impact inflation, and that's why we launched Truflation. Hi, I'm Stefan Roost, founder of Laguna Labs, which is the builder behind Truflation. So Truflation, it is the true inflation, what we call a data availability layer that provides real-world economic and financial data and then enables calculation on top of that layer, which is indexes. And the first big index was true inflation.
What we are doing since 2008 is mutualizing the bankruptcy of the system via the debasement of currency. You can either raise taxes, which they're trying to do too, but they're also printing currency via the mechanism called quantitative easing, which means that every time they do it, asset prices optically rise.
I think a lot of people at the beginning never understood, why are we doing this? You know, the government's already doing it. Why do we need another source of truth for inflation data? It was done manually with 60 days backdated data. We can do it real time. We can take a lot of that data and really bring it real time on chain and calculate that. The volume we can do is far greater. So we track now about 100 million items. The government tracks 80,000 items.
Over the blockchain, they're taking a data feed from a number of different places, and they're coming up with an actual inflation number. Not the Fed's number, not the Bank of England's number, not the CPI, because we all know there are lies and damn lies in statistics, but this is Truflation.com.
Now we're seeing the use cases around all of the data sets that we now have to build different types of indexes, to build synthetic assets, to add into prediction markets, to add into lending pools.
Truflation is definitely pushing the boundaries of what people think is possible and how people think about decentralized data and how it impacts on-chain assets.
What Kwil enabled us to do was to actually move the calculation to a decentralized network. Ultimately, now that can be maintained on-chain versus being composed in a centralized server and then written to the app chain. I mean, the whole goal was to be open, to have it immutable, and in order to do so, number one, we needed a consensus algorithm to ensure accuracy, and number two is have multiple participants maintain the database. Today, you can see how it's calculated, who's maintaining the calculation. It's actually calculated on-chain. Here's the methodology, how it's calculated. You can see the conversion into algorithm, and that's maintained by a decentralized network of 30 participants today.
Truflation.com, scientific innovation, where we're going to be able to come together as each individual people working in a decentralized way to get more fairness, more accuracy, more egalitarianism.
When we first launched, we were looking for a decentralized database solution, and Kwil was really the answer for us. We looked anywhere, we couldn't see anybody building something like this and anybody passionate about the alignment with what we were trying to do and what the technology could make possible. So I think a lot of the communication and the understanding of the database technology Kwil brought to the table. SQL smart contracts, I mean, yeah, just coming up with that alone was brilliant. And in terms of composability of the data across a decentralized network, has been really supportive and really helpful in us better articulating what we're trying to achieve.
We have gotten great feedback and made great innovations with teams such as Truflation. And we're now finally at a point where we can really productize this and bring it to a larger market.
I don't think we've had a deeper partnership with anybody other than with Kwil. And it's been going since we more or less started, and it's still going strong, and I haven't seen any sort of waning in that development area or in the relationship. So that's been phenomenal.